Hello, it's Andy Graham of Hobo Traveler, and A. Hart asks $70 a month apartment. I'm living in an apartment that's costing, I don't know, $35,000 safe. It's about $70 a month here in Saratoga. I actually paid them a year ahead. She wants to know how to find one. Well, right now I'm gonna probably let it go, and it's got a lease until I have it paid for until November, but I'm gonna let it sit empty. So hey, you can have that one for free. I'd kind of like to reserve it, but I don't really care anymore. I basically paid $70 a month, while regularly I pay right around $300 a month. So financially I did really good, but I have another 8 months left on my lease that's already paid for because I had to pay 1 year in advance here in Togo. How to find a $70 a month apartment. It's extremely easy if you understand basic economics. There's 200 countries on the planet. There's about 50 rich ones and 200 countries on the planet where the average person earns right around $10 a day. These people, I had a friend that was, I'll give a story here, really kind of funny. I had a friend that was living in Medellin, Colombia, and he writes me back, you can't live in Medellin for less than $2,000 a month. And I thought, okay, oh, you're too stupid. 99% of the people in Colombia are living in Colombia for less than $2,000 a month, but you're not smart enough as a foreigner to do it. Okay, if the average person earns $10 a day, they're the breadwinner, and they earn $300 a month, how much can they afford? The rule of thumb on real estate is you should always pay 1/4 of your income for your apartment. So if I'm earning $300 a month, that's $75. Okay, they even do it worse here. I mean, they earn $300, then they rent a room for $30 a month. I mean, you can rent rooms all over Togo for $30 a month. The question is, do you want to live there? Now, what makes you live in America where you live? It's your job. So you have to live close to your job. It ends up being that you pay more to live close to your job. Well, you don't have to do that if you're retired and live in a province. What you do want to do is live close to your friends. So what you do is you find your friends where you like to hang out, and then you're going to get an apartment, hopefully within walking distance of all the center core of expat. I call it an expat center of the universe for expats, or center of the backpacker universe. There's these centers, right? There's these enclave centers, and most of them are going to the easy thing, which is the $400 a month place, or $500 a month, or they're all going to prove that they have money and they're trying to build a house, just like they did in America, and they're being very silly. But if you're in a country where there's 200 countries on the planet, you got to take the math. Okay, Eric helped me make a map showing where you could live for $500 a month, and then where you could get a visa on arrival, and then where you know the different levels. We have this on the website already, a complete map showing where you can get the visa easy enough, and then you can get you can live under $500 a month, and then it goes to $1,000 a month. I broke it all down by country. You know, at the end of the day, people don't want a $70 a month. They want to live where they want to live, and this becomes the problem. If you want to live, like, it's real easy to get a $70 apartment, but can you do it in one day? No. So what? No. When somebody sees you, whether you're in Guatemala, Peru, Thailand, Philippines, anywhere, they look at an American and says, 99% of the Americans are paying $400 to $500 a month in Chiang Mai. Why would this American be smart enough to know that he could rent an apartment in Thailand for $50 a month? Well, they got a 99% chance that you're not smart enough. I found an apartment for $50 a month in Thailand. Oh, I wanted to live there, and my girlfriend wouldn't move in because it wasn't it was right next to her university hospital where she worked as a pharmacist. she wanted the exclusive neighborhood, and I said, let's live here and 4 days a week, and then we can go someplace else on the weekend. And you can walk to work, have convenient, really brand new apartment. Really beautiful, second story, balcony on the front, balcony on the thing. $50 a month. But it was right next to the university, but the university was in an awkward location where she lived. So every day she gets on the bus for an hour, just to say she lived in a different place. But it was a little bit of a working class neighborhood, and she didn't want to associate with it. Okay, so a lot of it comes down to social status. Are you going to be able to have the social status that you want? Okay, it really isn't clear. I mean, going into a gated community is almost always a bad deal. I mean, international living is the champion of sticking you into a channel where you're paying, 5 times the going rate. That is their goal. They're just a real estate, like an old-time 1910s scam going on from Miami, where they're selling real estate at this thing, and they think you're going to get fortune, it's going to expand in value, and blah, blah, blah. The trouble is there's unlimited real estate for expats because we don't have to live next to our job. The job is not there. We can, if it gets too expensive, we just move on. Like Sosua, Dominican Republic, it's a has-been city. Everybody bought hotel houses upon house there, but they're empty, and so they'll rent them for $250 a month, and it'll be a $300,000 house. That house should be renting for $2,000 a month. It's all math, and you get it. But at the end of the day, how do you do this? What you do is you have to understand that if the locals can find one for $70 a month, we sure hope you're smart enough to do it too. And then what do? You have to walk around and find the neighborhood you want, and so you rent a room, and then you start walking around, and you walk around, and you walk around, and you find an apartment, and you walk up and ask how much, because these $70 a month ones don't really need to advertise, right? If it's being advertised, it's probably too much. But you just walk over. I was in Brazil with this Argentina girl. She kept going, that's not an apartment. I would just walk in and say, hey, got a room, and a go room. A good hotel, a good apartment, they don't need to advertise. Everybody just comes and knocks on the door. Okay, so what you're doing is really you're not doing what you think you're going to do. You're not going to get on Craigslist. You're not going to get on to the local real estate agent. What you're going to do is go straight to the seller. And then you have to come across as savvy. And that becomes difficult. But can you hold on to the idea that if a local can live on in a $70 apartment, so can I. And when the guy tells you $300 a month, you just start laughing at him. And if you can find a truly trusted person that you trust, maybe pay them $70 a month to go find a place, they're still going to come back with the $300 place because they just can't envision you wanting to live just like them. But you don't have to. And this is what's the difference here. Is that I got a $70 a month apartment, and I don't cook with wood like the girls down below. I don't buy chickens like the girl down below. And I sit there and I keep the place painted clean, and it's got a huge balcony, and I'm making it at the same standards. The way a person lives inside an apartment is the quality of the room. It's not the room. I mean, I could paint a room, clean a room, fix up a room, and decorate the room and make it look like a $500 a month apartment because I'm used to living in a $500 building. They've never seen this, so they live like tribal, right? Kind of like, they wanted to cut the grass out in front of my apartment, and they started chopping it all away. I said, why are you chopping the grass away? It keeps the soil from eroding. She goes, snakes are in them. And so she's got this carryover idea that snakes are roaming around in the grass. There is no grass. It's not even deep enough that you could see any snake. All she's doing is making a mud hole. But she's always thinking, so she's destroying. I mean, they do things that are crazy. And I used to manage like 250 properties, and people sit there and say, how do you make a property look good? I said, you get a tenant that knows how to live like a human, okay? What we call a human. I mean, humans live like pigs for the most part, but you get a human that is always improving the property. So when I enter a hotel room, when I leave the hotel room, it's better because I'll fix the hinges on the door. I'll put a handle on doors. I clean things too. I clean off, like if you got a light switch and it's full of stuff, I clean it because. And this is the reason why you can get a $70 apartment that will turn into a $300 apartment if they rented it again. Because they're going to give it to you in a rough condition, and you're going to have to convert it to Western style. But you're living in a thing, and you got nothing better to do. If you want it off the shelf, ready to go, American style, you're going to have to talk to an American that basically is working the system, and he's renting it to you. But the $70 apartments, the $100 a month apartments are everywhere on the planet. They're not inside the gated community. They're just, they're just on the edge of town or someplace. You have to walk the area. So pick out, you define it. I tried to tell my friend in Togo here in Lomé. He's got a house in the wrong place. I said, from Duisburg to the ocean, from the ring road to halfway to the Ghana border, you define it. Then you walk every day, just walk around until he wants to buy a house, until you accidentally stumble on the house that's obviously a great deal. And any house in that area at around $40,000 is an excellent deal because you got really crazy, what do you call it, expats coming there and paying $400,000, $500,000 for a house in Togo. You understand that they're never going to be able to sell it. It's going to take them 10 years to sell it because they got to find somebody crazy enough that has that kind of money in Togo. The only other person that do it, if you get on escape artists, this is just a website where they're trying to escape the piece of real estate they purchased in Panama, Costa Rica, or these places. You get on expat sites and they're constantly trying to find a sucker that an escape from the property that they didn't want. After everything's done, you gotta live in a place for almost, in and out of a place for almost a year before you. I've been in and out of Togo 2 or 3 times, right? It's not my first time here, but I'm not afraid to, I'm not afraid to lose money. So paying 1 year in advance, I paid the exact same money to rent an apartment as it would have been to live in the hotel. Was it a good idea for me? No, because I spend a lot of brain time thinking about decorating things, and I really don't like to spend brain time decorating a thing, and it's just natural when you have an apartment to spend brain time decorating the thing. This is again one of those situations. I was a real estate broker for 14 years. I sold 2 pieces of real estate a week. I'm an absolute expert at this. Anywhere on the planet, whether the United States or whatever, if you want to move there, there's a certain strategy to doing it. And the problem is that the location and you are you're unique and the location's unique. And you need to have somebody walk you through the process and give you, just go back and forth in dialogue and ask you a few questions, go back and forth and say, do you really like this? And they go, and they'll say, one girl was living in Chiang Mai, and I go, why would you live in Chiang Mai? You're like a woman. And she goes, I said, it's full of whoremongers. These guys. I said, it's like a 100% men area with their Thai wife. Why would you want to live there? Well, she had never really thought it through. She just heard that it was a great place, and she was sort of open-minded, and you really can't be open-minded when you go live in a place, right? You got to say, hey, I'm closed-minded. I don't really want to live with whoremongers. But we have willful blindness. People want to act like I go to these guys going to Thailand all the time. Come on, they're going there for girls. A lot of people go to places to evade the law, okay? And why are they going to Costa Rica and buying houses? Because they can get a passport for $40,000 and go hide their money in Panama, invest in dollars. It's never at first level what is true. Nobody seems to want to tell the truth. That's the reason why you should just pay the $135 and get 3 hours of consulting with me, and then let me work you through the three places that you're considering, and then we talk about it, and I'll guarantee you save $10,000, $20,000 if you're going to rent or buy real estate. That's so super easy as a walk in the park. But that's not what people do. Everybody's an expert in sex and real estate and travel. And three things that none of us are an expert in on every single situation, and that's sex, real estate, and travel. I am very, very knowledgeable about travel, but I am always vigilant and worried that I'm going to make a mistake. When I buy real estate, I'm always double checking. I quadruple check everything. I think and I think and I run it and I think and I run it and I think. And I got some principles, like the obvious principle. If it just obviously is not a good deal, why am I buying it? Obvious good deals, obvious good situations are, if anything, is the obvious. I mean, when you go into a place and obviously everything's good. I had a guy in Guatemala. He wanted to rent an apartment, La Guatalan, about a mile from San Pedro, and I said, you know, do you understand that Guatemalans rob people? They have guns and they come in your house, and you're really getting a little bit too far out, and it's becoming dangerous. And he said it was recommended on TripAdvisor, and I said, the guy's gaming TripAdvisor and just got you. Just don't go home after dark. If nothing else, he already rented the place. I said, make sure you arrive there before thing, and don't be coming home 4 o'clock in the morning drunk, because Guatemalans and Latinos love to rob gringos. It's a very dangerous culture of the Latino world. Here in Togo, I can come home at 3 o'clock in the morning and I have little problems. Lome! Now, you can have some problems. There are some Nigerians and Ghana people inside Lome, Togo, causing some problems. Immigration is the big problem. But, again, hold on to the truth. If the locals can live on $70 a month, so can you. The quality of the room is up to you, you can make any room into a 5-star room. I make a $10 room into a $50 room consistently every day of my life. I have good lighting, hot shower, every room I go into. I have all the basic needs I want, just not given to me on the plate, served up convenience. We're all McDonald's people. We think everything's got to be convenient or we don't do it. It's the thinking person that wins, and you got to engage your brain. Okay, buy some consulting. That's the bottom line if you want to go do this stuff. But so we can work through which place you want to do it, because you're going to waste a lot of time if you go to the wrong city in the wrong country. I mean, that's going to waste you $2,000 or $3,000.
Tonight, let's